Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Market is open. Hope you all having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. In the chat box, please go ahead and type the number 1 so I know that you can hear me. Nothing worse than talking to myself for the next hour or so. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Brenda, how are you doing? Yeah, Karen said, getting fancy there, Rob. Nice graphics. Good, I'm glad you liked it. Roman. Yeah, I'm glad you liked the intro. Excellent. Good. Hey, Trader Will, I love the way you put that number 1 in there. Trader Will said, making the final plan for September 17th. Goodness, I thought it said 7th for a second, Will. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to September 17th. We just added a few more seats, got taken away, closed up this weekend. So we're getting close, folks. We're getting close. If you're interested in coming, I'll talk about it in a minute. But, man, we're going to rock. I'm looking forward to having a great time there. So let me go ahead and let's shift over to our presentation doc to get started. Keep in mind that everything we do here today is for educational purposes only. Nothing is meant to be advice and or recommendations, right? So all the candidates are just for that, education. So as we go through trading news coming up this week on the 18th, August 25th is patterns in a flash. Monster Market Movers on the 26th, Inner Circle on the 30th, and Charting Your Way to Success is coming up on September 17th, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are going to rock. We're going to have a fantastic time at that event. I am so excited. We've got some great stuff planned for it. We had a meeting today where we talked a little bit about some of the things we're going to be doing in there. You really need to get there. I actually just talked with a friend of mine who looks like he's going to be coming to the event, asked some of what our agenda was, and I went over with him. He said, wow, you're really going to give a lot of information for what you're doing. And I am. We're really going to have a good time with it. Power Hour, here we are today. But Rob, last week you told us you were on vacation. I was. We were going with another family. They freaked out over the infection rate in the town we were going to, which was Panama City. I forget, Boyd or Boward or whatever the county was, has a 31% infection rate down there. So there are some medical issues for them to contend with, even though they're all vaccinated. The fear was there of, we don't want to go. So we wound up canceling that. So we're going to do some local stuff here. We've got some trips planned. We're going to go spend a little bit of time local where we can drive to this upcoming week. So we're here. We're here. Now, after we're here, we're done. Rob's done. I'm out. We got some stuff planned this afternoon. Both my wife and I have birthdays this week. So we were gone for our birthday week, right? So we're going to do some celebrating around that as well. Trading Coaches Playbook, that is on Friday. Do not miss that. Be there, be square. It is a great event. I am blown away every time I tune in. I cannot believe the level of great training that they're doing inside of there. From Brandon, Tony, and Ryan, they're doing a great job. So Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, E-mini Think Tank are all on the regular schedule for this week. So nothing is changing for that. You'll have your Power Hour either tomorrow or Wednesday. It just depends on where the plans fall, right? And my youngest daughter, Sabrina, is in charge of all of that. She's just telling me, show up, and I go. Right? So here's the follow us page, folks. We are putting out, and what do we do today? 4 or 5 videos I did today that went out on various social platforms. You're not going to see them all if you just join one platform. On YouTube, we have a video almost every single day right now, but we have a plan of, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, of 10 videos a week we'll be producing on YouTube. 10. I see a lot of guys out there that are doing 1 a week. We're talking 10 in the course of the week. And you're going to get to start seeing some videos from Tony, from Brandon, and ultimately from Ryan as well on some of what we're doing here, what each of us do in our own training and or trading out there, right? Make sure you follow along with our podcast. We're going to get the blog up here because we've got some blog posts going as well. So make sure you're checking these out, folks, if you haven't already. Right, Charting Your Way to Success. It is a live one-day training here in New York, live, but not on Friday night. It's on Friday, but not at night. It's a 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. event. We're going to be doing it while the market's open. We'll be in there just before the market starts. We'll get some prep work going in there. We'll look at some techniques and training on how to set up and structure your charts. And one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to share with every one of you some techniques that I can help reduce 15 to 30 minutes of your time in the market every single day. If I can just cut 15 minutes a day out of your day, that's 65 hours a week and a half of your time I can give you back. What could you do with an additional week and a half of time? It's 130 hours if I can cut 30 minutes out of your charts. If you're a little more experienced, it's probably closer to 15. If you're newer, a little less experienced, it's probably 30 minutes. 130 hours, what's that? 4, 8, 12, That's 3.25 weeks. Would you like to get 3.25 weeks of your life back? Right? $99, folks. And we're going to give you $200 credit just for showing up. Right? That's how good it's going to be. And I see that Amy has dropped a link in as well. So you got that. Thank you, Charles. It's Bay County, right? Yeah, Ryan did a great job this Friday, Will said. I know, he's awesome. Happy birthday to you as well, Karen. Good. Happy birthdays. A couple of happy birthdays to me and my wife. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So, what are your trades for today, folks? Drop them in the chat. I want to see. Let me see the trades you've done. I want to know exactly what you've done today. Drop them in. I don't care if they're paper. I don't care if they're funded. It doesn't matter. Tell me the numbers. Tell me the numbers. Let's grab that Thor hammer. Anything over $1,000. Can you see it in there? I think you can see the handle right here. It's a little dark. Maybe we need to put a light back there, Sean. All right, let's see what we got going here. So Trader Will said Twitter up $208. Great job, Will. Paul said long call 1221 UPST made 525. Excellent. Sarah said made 2K. Hold on, let me move that out the way. Let me read that now. Made, not 2K, 2 times my weekly profit goal on the ES today. Nice. Very nice. Robert said no trades today. Didn't find one that worked for me. And that's important, Robert, because your risk profile, just because Karen or Bill or Mary or whoever, Rob, found a trade, that doesn't mean you found one that fits for you. So if it doesn't fit, right? If the glove don't fit, you must acquit, right? Remember that phrase. Let's see. Adobe going well was Trader Will. Leslie said Abbott closed out too early. But I made money. I got SPY up $170 at the moment. Good. Brenda, you're here. How are the Qs doing? Talk to me. Come on, girl. How are you doing on the Qs today? Brenda's a big dollar trader on Qs. We'll call it all non-funded, right? Up. There we go. Suzanne, $1,185 on the Qs, $550 on SPY. Let's grab that Thor hammer, baby. Right? Let's try that again. That's a mo better, right? That's a mo better. Excellent. Great job. Great job, Suzanne. Bam! There you go. John said Wheel of Fortune, SPCE and SFIX, naked puts, and diagonal spread, $1,300 cash flow. There you go, John. Boom. Excellent. Great job, everybody. Great job. I'm happy. So happy. Let's take a look here. Right. So if we look at the trade setups from today, now these are from Amelia. She is our head trader, as many of you know. Right. She is out there every single day hitting enter, putting the trades in and hitting enter. Whether they work, don't work, she's in there doing the trades. Why? Because that's the only way you're going to get any better at it. You want to be head trader for us? You're trading the market. There's no other way around it. It's not. I did 2 trades last month. Right. Amelia does multiple trades every single day. Here, we're going to share with you what she's got from today, right? So SPY is a trade that she looks to do every day. She's put a great strategy together, taken some of what I've taught her and incorporated some of her own, and now has really turned it into an amazing strategy. So she went ahead at, let's see what we've got here. She went ahead at 9:42, what's in green, and she bought 13 contracts to open of the SPY 16th of August 445 puts. And she bought them at $1.20, right? That was her cost. She sold them 5 minutes later, right? At 9:47, she sold those contracts, the 445 puts, at $1.65. So that's 45 cents. Now she did 13 contracts. Her rate of return on that, I can't see that without my glasses. It's on the red bar. They're 37%. 37% rate of return in under 6 minutes. Right, but let's look at it. If there's 45 cents of profit in there, 10 contracts would be 450. 3 contracts would be 4, 8, 12, 135. So 585, just shy of $600, right, is what she made on this one trade today. Now I know, some made a lot more money on the trade, and that on their trade today, and that is awesome. Some made less. That's awesome. It doesn't matter. the bottom line is you're working way towards the goal that you're trying to achieve. If your goal is to make $500 a day, $100 a day, $100 a week, $10,000 a day, whatever it is, right? I know Roman's sitting back there going, Rob, $100 a day, what are you talking about? Come on now, right? Everybody's got a different goal, right? Everybody has a different goal of where they are, right? I got a dream, right? Whatever your goal is, you're working towards it. You start. Whatever profit you're picking up now, it's a start. You continue to work towards that goal. It's a comfort level along the way. So great job on that trade, Amelia. And then here's one that Amelia did, a debit spread magic, she called it, with AMD, right? So if we look at 9:40 this morning, just one contract, she did a debit spread and spent 28 cents on that debit spread. And when it was all said and done, she got out of that trade for a 66-cent credit. So take the 28 away from the 66, and she wound up with a 135% rate of return in 5 minutes. Right? Now, she's only showing one contract here. Right? Habits die hard because Amelia's trying to move into that 3-contract trade every single time that she does it here. She's so used to putting one in, and she does more than one contract for herself. She just, on this trade setup, she does them purposely to show you that you can do it with just one. But we've proven that now. For 2.5 years, we've proven that we can do it with just one. Now the goal is to actually start kicking that profit up a little bit to show you some serious numbers here. So if you take 28 from 68 would be 38 cents. So she made $38 on this trade. But look at her rate of return at 135% rate of return in 5 minutes, right? Great job, Amelia. Fantastic job. So Brenda, you did it. Not just me, you did it, right? I've done this before many times. Brenda just said she thought she was in puts. Was it puts? I thought I was in puts and I was in calls, and it was oops on her Q's trade today, right? It happens, folks. It happens. The key is to not panic, and here's why. I did a trade one time, and it was a credit spread, and I did 10 contracts. And I was trying to do, I think it was a bull put spread. I try to not let those things lament in my mind, but I think it was a bull put spread. And I did 10 contracts, and I wound up doing like a bear call spread. I did the wrong one. It's like, oh no. Because when I got filled, I was trying to get a credit of 40 cents, and I got a credit of 220 or something. I'm like, wait a second, what just happened? And it was the wrong trade. So I said, all right, now I'm freaked out. Let me get out of this trade. And I go to manage my way out of the trade, and I do the exact same trade again. So now I've got 20 contracts of the wrong position. Market's going one way, or I see it going one way, and I'm trading it in the opposite direction. I played around. I finagled with the trade for the next week or so. It went against me, not anywhere near as much as it was against me when I placed that trade, but it had gone against me. I was able to work my way out of it for under $1,000 in cost on 20 contracts. I really can't complain about that at all. But man, kudos, Amelia, great job on both of these trades. Fantastic. Loving the numbers you're bringing in, so that's great. I hope she didn't get killed. 50K would suck. Yeah, you're right, Will. Brenda said, yeah, usually wait for the next setup and go from there. Paul, so what is your opinion on doing a long call versus a spread trade? We are limiting profit, only doing the spreads, where profit on the call or put is more of an unlimited number. And Paul, you are 100% right, but you're only covering half of the equation. If the profit potential is better, or greater, let's use greater. If the profit potential is greater, the risk potential is greater also, right? So when I buy a call option, I have, and when I say the risk, I don't necessarily just mean dollars. Think about that. Yes, I buy the option for $5, where on the spread, I spend 28 cents, right? Okay, so do I have more of a risk than the 28 cents? Absolutely, I do, right? You've got your spread risk as your difference there, right? But what's the difference when we look at the position? When you take, as an example, not a debit, but a credit spread. If I do a credit spread, I have a better chance of being right in the trade. Because with a credit spread, if I do a bull put spread, if you buy a call or a stock, the stock must go up. If the stock goes sideways, that call option will drop in value, time. If I do a credit spread and the stock goes, a bull put spread, let's say, and the stock goes up, I make money. Stock goes sideways, I make money. Stock goes down a little bit, I make money. So it's a risk reward. I do both. It's all a matter of what I'm trying to accomplish. That's all. When I've had newsy trades like today, I looked at T-Mobile. I was in one of my pre-market updates today, was T-Mobile, right? When I look at T-Mobile and I see the move that it made, I look to do a credit spread. I did one on, I'm not in my account here today, I'm in Sean's. This is a funded trade. Who was the one with a P I put out today, Sean? Do you remember? Yeah, go back and look at the update that I did. But I sold the put for I did a straight put on that one. I sold the naked put for 29 cents and the last 39 cents. Sorry, I sold it for 39 cents. Last time I checked, I think it was like 28 or 27 cents for the put, right? Using the rules of how I like to trade, where I look at the previous levels and I'm selling below there, right? Could I have made more money if I bought a directional trade if it moved? But remember, we had already had a huge gap up. Now, at that point, I'm hoping that we actually get a continuation run. So it's not a matter of better or worse, Paul. It's more a matter of what fits your comfort zone. If you're comfortable with directional trades, man, you need to go for directional trades. There's nothing wrong with it. For me, I like to trade a plethora of strategies. I love directional, buy calls, buy puts. I love selling puts. I'm a huge fan of that. Covered calls, diagonals, credit spreads, iron condors. I'm a big believer in every one of those strategies. But they have a time and a place. I worked with a maintenance mechanic that every single tool, every single job he ever did, he used a pair of channel locks to fix it. And some of you know what a channel lock is, some of you don't. It's the adjustable pliers. They got a big jaw, and there's a lot of adjustments on. Not a regular plier. There's a lot of adjustments in that groove, right? He would use it as a hammer. He would use it for a wrench. And he would use it for whatever he used the plier for, pulling, twisting, whatever. But that was his tool. Right? He was comfortable with that, and that's all he used. Powell was the guy's name. And that's all he walked around with in his tool pouch. Every other mechanic that worked for me had wrenches, screwdrivers, and Powell just did everything with a channel locks, right? So it's just a comfort level, Paul, of where you're at for that. Let me see. Sono, I'm very annoyed that I didn't do Sono. Sono was one of them from today. I didn't do that. I didn't take that trade earlier. I'd put it out on one of the updates. Got busy that day, didn't get to take that trade, bothered that I didn't. Today it comes out that, wow, they've got some patents that all of a sudden are really important that the judge upheld, and their stock took a nice gap to the upside today. So we'll see where that winds up going. And it wasn't with a P. P was last week, Sean. Thank you. Sono was the one I did today. That was one I did today. We'll see where it goes. All right. So handling the summertime blues, right? That's our topic for today. What are the summertime blues? Think about it, right? What goes on in the summertime? The expression is sell in May and go away. Okay, sell in May and go away. That's great and fine and good, but that doesn't mean there's not tradability in there. And I don't believe in the concept, by the way. 2 years ago, our greatest profit ever in power option plays in pop was in the month of August. So our biggest monthly profit ever was in the month of August. Well, that's the summer doldrums. Why in the world would you get it? We just had a rockin' market, absolute rockin' market, right? Do we have doldrums right now? Summertime blues? It's still summertime. There are some lighter volume days that you're seeing out there, so you've got to be careful of those. Right, we are coming to the end of it, though. I mean, here we are. What's today's date? 16th. We're halfway through August. Two and a half weeks, and we're back in school here in the Northeast, anyway. Labor Day is gone, and the market starts to rock back up again. Right. So when we look at the summertime blues, you just need to be cautious as you're going through your day that you're not taking trades that are too aggressive. Right. Look at the movement of a candlestick on a particular chart. If you're trading an Apple, and Apple normally moves $2.50 a day, and all of a sudden you see that Wilder's average true range has dropped off. So if we go to Omega charts, you go to Apple, go to template number 1, and we've got Wilder's average true range, right? Is right here. And you can see we were trading up at 310, and now we're at 242, right? So we're in a little bit more of the doldrum on on this stock because of where it's gone. When we had Apple trading at $4.50, Wilder's average true range, which means every day the low to high range is $4.45, $4.29 is what it shows there, right? That's the day's average range from low to high, right? And that's averaged out over the previous 13 days, right? Well, you see that starting to drop off. Now, it's not summertime per se, but you get the concept because it's such a drastic move here. You see that starting to drop off. And as that's happening here in summertime, it has to bring pause to you. You're not getting the same move any longer. And remember, it's taking 13 days to catch up. So when we had, as an example, this kind of sideways muck that went on here, that dramatically influences Wilder's average true range or just regular average true range. Either one of them dramatically influences that indicator. So a little bit of caution because technical indicators outside of leading indicators like Fibonacci, other technicals are all lagging indicators. They may give you clues of what you think might go on based on history, but remember, you're dealing with an indicator that is historical, even moving averages. It's an average of what's happened in the past, right? If we look, and let me get rid of this. All right. If we look here on the moving average, you need 55 days to give me a point because it's a 55-day moving average or 21 days or 8 days. So now you're relying on what happened 8 days ago till today. And I'm not saying they don't work, but they rely on historical information. If we look, let's see if we maximize, you know what, let's go to T-Mobile, TMUS. Look at the moving averages on today, right? You had that huge drop in the moving average because of that gap down. Well, what do? You don't do anything. You can't combat that. You can't change that. You can't fight that. There's nothing you can do. You've got to wait for the moving averages to settle back in. And only in the last 20 or 30 minutes are the 8 and 21 getting closer to each other. We were nice on the 8 here. 21 was still very far away, right? So it takes time for that to catch up. So you need to be cognizant of that as you're going through. We talk about handling summertime. You need to be cognizant of that as you're going into the marketplace and looking at exactly what's going on with your position and how it tends to trade. All right, we got a couple of comments and or questions here. Roman said, Amazon went down today. I was watching for the retest at the 32.75 line. Can you check if I made the right decision not to take it because no retest, or did I miss something? All right, so let's get Amazon up here, Roman. Let's go put in a trend line. I thought I had added that to the toolbar. Nope. All right, so where am I getting my drawing tools here again? Someday I'll learn. Where are we, Sean? Why am I not seeing them? Right click on the chart, maybe. Drawing. Trend line, horizontal line. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Just not used to it yet. I'll get there. Let's see. 32.75 is what we're looking for. 32.75. All right. So we need to color black. Weight thicker. All right. So there's a 32.75. Right. So let me go back and look again. So Roman, I'm assuming you were talking about a retest of the 32.75 from the bearish level or from the bullish level. Either way, the answer is you're right. Let's see. Bearish. Yep. So I never saw a retest in there, Roman. Never saw a retest take place in there. So yeah, I mean, if you're following the rules that we utilize in Pop, that setup never came in. Did it make a great drop? Without a doubt. Could you go back and say, all right, this was this candle right here, 950 candle, right? Which means it closed at 950. So let's see, can we do this here? I can. Okay, good. So I can still do that. Just typing in a 1. Let's go find the 950. Actually, you said 3275. 3275. All right, there we go. So Roman, remember, when we do the pop updates, we look at the 5-minute candle to see what we look at on the 5-minute candle. You're very active in Amazon. I am very active in Amazon. I try not to delve too deep into that when we get into the pop updates of looking into multi-time frames and all of that. But if we look here, 950, well, it doesn't matter. Here's the 3275 level. We broke down below. Let's see. Try it this way. Let's kind of scroll it back. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right. So we came down, we had a close on the 1, we got a little bounce on the 1. We broke and closed below, and we never really got a retest of it, but now you're talking about 3275, and we opened up at 3273 half. So you might have been able to use the 1, Roman, to help give you an indication into that trade, but based off the 5, I would not have taken the entry. So those that say, yeah, but you missed out on a big trade. We missed out on a trade. That's all it is. It's a trade. That's all we did, is miss out on one singular trade. We're going to have other ones pop up there, but yes, you were absolutely right, Roman, in the way that it's set up. I tried a few times back in the days to do that with the retest and ended up proving myself following Rob's rules. Okay. All right. So Barry said, I read an investment newsletter that the sell in May and go away phrase is fake. It got its name because big traders went on vacation in the summer and stopped trading. Turned out that the market actually went up in the summer, but the big boys never received the benefit. Okay, there you go. I don't know if it's fake or not. We definitely see lighter trading in the summertime, Barry. We don't necessarily get as big of moves generally. Last couple of years, we've had some really good months. We've had some really good months. If you look at Pop, we haven't seen some of the big, massive moves this year that we did in previous years in summer. But we've seen great moves in the market, but we don't have as consistent of the market. We're getting those nice moves up, and then 3, 4, 5% hit, and then we pop right back up again. A lot of stops getting hit in there, but I'm with you on that. Deborah said, surprising how weak Amazon has been since its earnings. And Deborah, here's what I would say to that. The expression basically is buy on rumor, sell on fact, right? Are we going to see people? Let me say it a different way. Have we seen greater interest in online purchases? Yes, without a doubt. Was COVID a catalyst for that? Oh my goodness, absolutely. I still order stuff from Whole Foods instead of going there at times. Now, we like to go and shop there, but we order probably once every 2 weeks still out of Whole Foods. And then every other week, we're still back there in person anyway. But when you look at Amazon, you're seeing there's still an increase of where it was. But COVID's, I don't want to say over, but it's over. We're not looking at worse strains. Actually, Dr. Gottlieb talked about that today. They don't believe that we're going to see worse strains. D has been out. All of the other variants have been out for months. We haven't seen any variation or tweak from that. So they're expecting this is the worst one we're going to see from it. Doesn't mean it can't change. And I think people have gotten comfortable with buying more online, but are wanting to get out. We went to, my wife and I went to Costco this weekend and could not believe it was a beautiful day. Could not believe how many people were in Costco instead of at a beach, including us. right? Just couldn't believe how many people were there. Now we were going out. We couldn't go to a beach. We were going out. So we had no choice. This was yesterday, right? We had no choice. We went to get some things that we needed there because we were going out last evening for dinner. So we're going to hang out at the beach all day long. But it was packed. And I think more and more stores, you're starting to see that happening now. And I think Amazon is seeing some of their numbers of we're not going to see that growth the way that we had in the past. I think there's concerns internally from unionization, the workers that are claiming that they're treated poorly inside of there. I think some of that may be affecting them. And you got that, again, that summertime blue hitting at the same time. So Trader Will said, I've been pressure cooking this since August 12th, and now it's doing well. Okay, good. So Paul said the Lambda variant now. And I don't know enough about them to say yay or nay. I know there was some of the other alphabet letters that they threw out, but Gottlieb was saying they're all not as bad as Delta. I don't know if they are or aren't. And that's who traders are listening to. He's on CNBC 2-3 times a day at times, right? As far as giving his opinion on what he sees going on with Delta, with what's happening with COVID. The bigger fear right now is what's going on with kids and all of that with it. But what happened today, what got announced today or talked about today, I should say, is the Fed is talking about tightening things quicker. So they're saying we actually could see an increase come the next vote date, which I don't know when that is, but we could see it at that next date, right? So there may be some shifts in how the market perceives that as well. We've got to see what the percentage of that increase is and what it is. So in many cases, you'll see that a 0.25% increase in interest rates, there's a 62% chance of it happening, where a 0.5% increase, there's a 2% chance, right? So traders will be, all right, we're expecting a quarter, it's not that bad. But if it comes out that there's 75% chance, 65, 85, whatever percent chance of a 0.5 point increase, I think too much too fast. I think you'll definitely scare Wall Street with that a little bit. We've got to slow down costs. CNBC again this morning, what did they say? And guys, it's on in the background behind me at home. TV just like it is here. It's on at my TV at home all the time. I'm not watching it, but I hear when things are out of whack or something comes up. When I hear I may be off on numbers, 77% increase in back to school clothes from last year. 77%. Why? They credit part of it to shipping containers from China costing $2,000 pre-COVID and now $10,000 for the same container. They're talking about trucking, just regular over-the-road trucking, up 56% from pre-COVID, right? Just those two things alone, not to mention materials, increase in costs, increase in labor. Labor increases are awesome. There's nothing wrong with labor increases. But believe it or not, you're going to pay the price. And if you don't believe me, go back to when some of these things started happening with enforced labor increases here in New York and all over. And what happens at McDonald's now? When my wife worked there as a teenager, there were 15 people working at that front counter, getting food and taking orders. Now you got one, maybe two people in there doing that, right? Go do it on a kiosk. Well, kiosk, yeah, just type it in on a kiosk. I did it last week at Panera. Type in my order on the kiosk. I wait 5 minutes and the order's ready, right? Or on your app, there's less employees at those jobs, right? So, no, I don't eat at McDonald's. I said at McDonald's, they do it. Not me, Will. All right. So let's go take a look at the market a little bit. Let's sort by the change. Right? Booking. Woo, baby. We had booking down as a neutral bias. This is one of the candidates I went through for myself. Guys, I did this in a video this morning to the mastermind group where I kind of went through a little bit of my process of what I do in the morning. And today I went through, looked at the candidates that were on my pop sheet that were neutral and or some form of bearish and bearish neutral, and trying to identify with where they were in their pre-market and where I thought they might be going from there. Did I have an opportunity to take advantage of it? Booking was one of them on my list, but was not one that I saw having that big of a move because look at where it opened. And Booking came absolutely crashing down, almost moved to that what is the 618, but that next fib line, it went right through that first one and is almost made it to that next fib line. So tough to try to do anything with it now. If I'm looking at booking, I'd be looking at a bear call spread somewhere, if I could, somewhere up above this fib level here of 22.25. Somewhere above there is what I'd be looking for. Brendan said, Robs, what's your thoughts on stocks that will be affected when we go all electric for vehicles? I don't know when that's going to be, Brenda. They say they'd like to see it by 2030. I don't see that happening. I just don't. Again, it comes down to infrastructure. If Pelosi would actually release the infrastructure bill, maybe we can get started on it. But if we don't build out charging stations along the way, I don't see how. How do you drive to Florida in an electric vehicle without having to stop and charge up? Or what are we going to do? Carry spare batteries to hook up? I don't think so, right? So I don't see it affecting us at this point. Even they're talking Tesla today with their fully automated cars, their vehicles, and saying they're really not fully automated. Right? They could be, but they're really not, right? Not meant for that, but you could drive it. So I think the car companies, the Teslas, the GMs, the Fords, some of those companies, Toyota, you will definitely see some changes in there. As a new technology, especially if governments force, you must have it done by this date, like they did with some of the EPA issues. Okay, great, we're going to get it done, but the cars always go up more than they would have normally because of the forced changes that had to take place. It's new costs, it's new engineering, it's rushing, overtime, whatever, to try to get it all done. So, all right, so we got booking. Hope that helps, Brenda. We saw Amazon already. Tesla, this was on their announcement of same scenario. This is a 1. Let's go back to a 5. All right. This was on their announcement today about the self-driving cars, right? That gap down, and it's had a great continuation all day. So we opened up on Tesla today, roughly 705. Let's go back and look at Tesla. Woo! Okay, so we opened at 705. 700 is our key level. Now, what do you notice on Tesla, folks? What's in there? There's that blue box. Some of you have absolutely no idea what that is, right? Too bad. No, I'm kidding. That blue box it's a health zone. It's actually, this one is between that 700 and 718 level, 717, 75. So we had a rectangle going on in there. So that is the pressure cooker building up. We got our breakout the other day, and I said it, I don't know if I trust this breakout. We gapped up, right? Ran higher. We got to a new high, recent high, and then we fell and got back into the rectangle, right? Today we gapped down, still in the rectangle. For me, the key is what happened when we broke the 700 level. I don't want to just take the breakout. That's not me as a trader. If that's you, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If that works for you, then you need to do it. It doesn't work for me. For me, I need a retest of that level, not a breakout of that level. So let's look today. Let's try that in English. Let's look today at today. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's go to Tesla. Let's look today at that 700 level and see what it looks like on the breakout. So we're going to drawing tools, horizontal line. So we're going to make that one the 705. I'm going to put another one in. We'll make that one 700. Let me make it black. Let me thicken it up a little bit. That's the weight. Thickness 2. All right. So what happened on Tesla? We got the break. The low of this, actually the close of this bar, not the low. The close of this bar was 699.15. So we broke the 700. I like that. We closed below. right? Now what am I looking for? Can we come back up and retest and fail? Retest does not mean you have to hit exact. It doesn't. I don't even have a percentage or a way of saying it of if it's within $1, if it's within $3 or $33.19. It doesn't work that way. To me, for me, I'm very much about visual. I want to see what it looks like. Does it look like it tagged that line? If I said $1, it has to be within $1 of that level. If it moved up to $1 and failed, $1 on Amazon is a heck of a lot different than $1 on Ford, right? So I don't use whole numbers or hard, fast numbers in that rule. To me, I want to look at the chart and say, what did it do, right? How is that working out for me? So if I come back up and look, our high on this candle here was $699.51. 49 cents from the resistance level is where we made it to, and we started rolling over. So now as I'm watching it roll over and we get down to $6.99, $6.98 and a half, we're now $1.50 from that line. We're down, and that candle is the exact candle for taking the entry on that trade. So let's say you got it at $6.98, and right now she's trading at $6.81 is our current price, right? Very nice. Great move overall on Tesla for the day, right? So this was a great trade setup today. I did a credit spread on it. Could I have done better with a directional trade? Yes. Yeah, let the Italian flow. Brenda, all I really know is food and curse words. That's it. I'm real good with both of those, right? Tu vuoi mangiare, right? And my parents, my mom's all Italian. Half Sicilian, half Napoletan. My wife is all Sicilian, right? My mom never spoke Italian, though, to us. My grandmother talked it a little bit. She was first generation here. My wife is first generation, but her parents only spoke Italian. My wife in kindergarten, they told her parents to make her watch Sesame Street because she couldn't speak English when she went to kindergarten. She could only speak Italian. She learned Italian from watching Sesame Street. So I don't know a lot of words. My wife gets mad at me. All these years you haven't learned? Nope. I haven't learned. Sorry. All right. Food, I'm okay with food. Right. Mozzarella sticks. See, I mean, how hard is it? Okay. Very good. Give me some stocks you want to look at, guys. Yeah, Brendan said my grandmother was full Italian. I think Sicilian or Calabrese. And listen, my wife's got family all over the place. Relatives that are Calabrese. I mean, a lot of them live in Sicily, Alemana, and places like that. There's a big population of relatives in Alemana. So let's see what we got here. All right, let's switch over to Omega charts. All right. And let's go look at, no, LOL is not a symbol, Will, okay? It's not a symbol. Maybe it is. Let me see. Is LOL a symbol? No, it's not. Okay, so it's not a symbol, right? QQQ. We have a trade on QQQ right now, bullish. We'll see where we're still in it. Our stop is down here, but we're holding, Brenda. I mean, we're holding above the zero line on the Qs right now. I like it. Let's see, function F11. So if we close here, Brenda, we still need to get back above the 8 for me to take a new trade. But if we close here, I'd want to get above the 8 and start to make its move up. And you've got 372.16 as your target for Qs, right? Let's see, CM, CSA. All right, so let's go draw Ozzy Fibonacci. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you know what I need? Let's get the symbol grid here. Actually, let's not do that. Let's do it here. Let's go with template number 1. Whoops. I just need 1 instead of the function. So, oh boy. Oh my goodness gracious. $50 stock. Who's asking on this one? So Trader Will, the first thing I see is it's got 88 cents wild as average true range. A lot of caution because of that. Probably also means lower volatility on the options themselves. So, all right, good. Just want to get rid of that bar. So let's scrunch back down again. We're only talking about 88 cents moving there. So we definitely need to fib it in here, and that might not even be enough. So let's go ahead and add the negative 136. I also need to add the 118. $58.5 to 60. Oh, it's too big of a distance since 88. No, we're good. We don't need it. It's double the Wilder's average range, so we're good. So it looks like $60 is on the upside target for it. Well, I'd be cautious just with the tight range that we've got there. Yeah, Will said I was laughing about the food. I know, Will. I know. So, but I hope CMCSA was helpful there. X, which is U.S. Steel, Gregory's asking for. Let's see. All right, so we have a fib drawn here. We haven't violated it. We recently pulled up to our 618 line. All right, you guys are kind of, wow. Let's see, SoFi, Qualcomm. All right, let me ask, are you okay if we take the next couple of minutes and I go and shift gears a little bit? We'll pull back. We'll use this as the example, but let me share with you some advanced technique on fibs, some of the things we look to do here. Is that okay? If it is, give me a 1 in the comments box. If it isn't, give me a 2. And if you don't give me a comment, we're not going to spend the time on looking at that advanced technique because you guys are dead in the chat. Some of you got the regulars going at it. Go for it. Go for it. There you go, Brenda. All right. All right. You redeemed yourselves. You're good. You're good. You're good. Okay. Let me take us to template number 1, where we have no moving averages. I have my fibs drawn, and I'll be off by a little bit here, which is okay. I have my fibs drawn there, which is about 773. All right, that's my distance. Now my goal is, do I have a bigger directional move than 773? I do. The first one right there. So here's what we're looking for. When you look at redraw the fibs, the first thing I look at for redraw fibs, did it violate on the close the negative 618, which is this line all the way up here? Right? Did it violate that line? Closing price, not the wick. Man, I love when that wick goes all the way up above. Go to the moon, Alice, to the moon, and come back and close below. It just shows that the bulls are not in control and we're pulling back. They're not ready to break out. Just gives me an insight of what's going on. So that's the first place. The second place is if we violate the 882 level. So I go ahead and I draw the 882. I put it in black. If we violate that level right there, that is a key level for needing to redraw the fibs. Now, even if we did close above this negative 618 or below the 882, it doesn't mean draw this second. Oh, it closed. Draw now. You need a place to draw. You don't just change. What it means is it's time to start looking for the correct place to redraw the lines. That's what we're looking at there. Those are the two major reasons for redraw. Another one is if and when you have a bigger directional move that doesn't violate the negative 618 or the 882 level. Right in this same exact fib, we have that. Now, is that the biggest one? I don't know. We're going to check. Since we're here, we're going to check. I'm actually stretching this away I don't normally stretch, which is up. All right, let's go back here. And I see this directional move right here. So this is 879. This is 853. So that one is not really big enough. We've got another one right in here. That's $6.12. So the one that makes the most sense for us to redraw is off of the second line we drew, but the first place where it could potentially change. First one was just a measurement, right? What are we looking at for our own fib now? Where are we at? The second one is what we need. So we're going to delete all of these lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you hit delete a fifth time, you're going to delete your fibs. Don't do that. Make sure you go slow when you're backing up on Omega charts to delete, right? So let's see. Let's escape out of that. Now what I do then is I do not delete my fibs. I don't get rid of the fibs. I drag them back and we save them. You just don't know if and when you're going to need them in the future. I was on a show that I got asked to come on as a guest trader, and we talked about that. And this is someone that used Fibonacci's. And I started talking about that and showed the why. And he's like, man, I never thought of that. I'm going to start leaving them on the charts. And that same day, he tweeted out, he's got thousands of followers on Twitter. He tweeted out about, what I did and so forth. And we picked up tons of followers ourselves that day alone, just on Twitter, because of that one technique that I taught. It really is a great technique, but you want to keep your old fibs. We're going to go ahead and grab a new fib. We'll not cheat. And we're going to drag or draw from that swing low to that swing high. Right? And then we're going to drag it out to the right. Now, what I will do is I'll make sure to fix that. I will go to an F5. Bigger monitor here, so we're going to go to whatever this comes out to be. I am going to save it, so I'm going to hit the number 2, which is my template. Click yes for save. Or maybe it didn't. Let's see. Save. There we go. Okay. So now all of that, I don't even remember who wrote X in there, so I apologize. It's way too far up because I've got 200 ones in there now. And Brenda's go for it, Rob, which is on the last page in there. So now what are we looking at with US Steel? Okay. We're in a nice bullish move. Today, the bounce off the 8 moving average would have been an ideal scenario. We're in the middle of nowhere right now, God's country, right? Is this a place for me to say, take the trade? Not for me. I look for clear and concise entries. Clear. Do I have a clear path from support to resistance? Concise. Is it a concise entry? And I don't have that being this far up from where I am. I've got a clear path to resistance. There's nothing in the way of the red line above where my price is. Nothing at all. What's in my way, what's my problem is I'm too far along the path to take this trade. This would have been a great trade setup bouncing off of 3 days ago, right down in here. What was that, Thursday of last week? Right down in here, that would have been a potential, right? As you came down and retested and bounced. So wait for the pullback to the 8 and get the bounce off of there. And then you've got a resistance up there of 29.79. Now, I have not looked at US Steel in a while. So let's go look at X. So US Steel is trading at 28.90. We got a full week of time left. It is a Monday. We're on single. Okay. So I am looking for 20 delta. So 27.5 or at 28.90. As I could pick up 22 cents for selling this naked put right now. I like that a lot, right? Let's see. What would a covered call give us if we were doing a covered call? Wow, if we were doing a covered call, 39 delta, we'd pick up 50 cents. So even if they made you buy it at 27.5, you could sell the 29.5 call for 50 cents. Pretty darn good, all right? Will said, so to recap, because the 325 to 331, there was a greater move from the original fib, we draw a new one. This I never heard of. Yeah, it's there. Well, I've talked about it over and over and over again, especially in some of the higher level trainings in Inner Circle, inside of Mastermind Group, inside of POP. But when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I'm teaching a live event. It was in the Michigan area. And there was a young kid that used to come every time I did an event there. He was at the 8th or 9th event with me. And there was an older gentleman that he came with. Here, this guy is maybe 24, 25 years old. We hit it off well because we were both 24 fans. The show at the time was out and running, live new. So we would talk every time we got a chance. We would chat about it. And the older gentleman was in his 80s at that point. And they would come together, and he comes up to me and goes, man, what you just showed, you ain't never done that before. What's going on? When did that come into play? It's like, I started to laugh. I said, understand, my presentation when I teach a live 2-day event is exactly the same every event I teach. The students are different. The market is different. The event is exactly the same. Verbatim on most of what I say. I said, I have taught it over and over again. Why didn't you hear it? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Right? That's what could have been, Will. Dang. Okay. You got it, Will. All right, let's see. I got 1 or 2 more here. SoFi. Let's go look at SoFi. SoFi. SoFi Technologies. All right. Oh. I am writing ZLB down. That is a zero line breakout setup. I will be looking at this one later today. Let's see. F11. Holy mackerel. Okay. I didn't realize the price. Not for me. Let's see. Nope. So we're at $1 is our wildest average true range. Which means 2, 12.5, 4. Yeah, we need to split that level in there. So we're going to add a negative 136. It's on the second set of numbers there. Scroll down once. All right. But the goal, whoever put it in, is a retest of that zero line and a fail with our first target at 1367 and 1247 is your next target. One more time. Oh, by the way, guys, what we just went through in the exercise looking at redrawing the fibs, right? Yeah, SoFi is barely a year old. That's a really good point, Will. We just went through looking at redrawing the fibs. Did you think was that helpful? Was that a powerful lesson in the 7 or 8 minutes that I spent doing it? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Yeah, I try to make it easy. If you type the word yes, that's fine. That's cool. If you want to type in the word 1, right? If you want to be a wise guy and type into 3, okay. All right. So why am I asking that? We barely scratched the surface on where to redraw. In the live event in New York on September 17th, it's one big component of what we need to cover in there. There are a few other places and reasons why you would redraw, right? We're also going to get into those that are in the inner circle and some in the mastermind are familiar with where we get into a very advanced technique on fibs. We're going to be drawing those as well inside of there. Guys, Fibonacci's work. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I will go head to head with anybody that wants to try to prove me wrong. And I'll be very open to whatever comments you have about it, and we'll talk honestly. But if someone wants to do a one-on-one butt heads with me on it, I'll be glad to do it. You won't win, but I'll be glad to do it. It's kind of like the cook-offs, right? I'll be glad to put my reputation up against it because I know that this works. And especially utilizing some of the advanced techniques that I have, right? Like the way that we redraw fibs and so forth. So yeah, I believe, Charles said, I believe, absolutely. Let's see. Trader Will said, I want to watch that match. Yeah. Okay. Good. Trader Will said, yeah, it was good because it was important to me. All right. Excellent. So at this point, Amy, could you drop a link into that event for us, please? Guys, gals, listen, $99. 1 full day with me. Is it worth it? I don't know. Maybe you're sick and tired of me after an hour a week and this is enough for you. And that's okay. I get it. Right? If you want to sit inside a room with some of the best traders we have in this company, some of our best students out there, right? And learn some cutting edge information that we're going to get into there, you need to be at this event, right? If you want to know more about it, go check out the Chart Smart video that we put out. You would have gotten emails about that. If you didn't, send an email to support, and we'll be happy to help you guys out with that. When am I Going to Boston. Unless it's Boston market, I'm probably not making it anywhere near Boston anytime soon. Ada, sorry. I'm here in New York, so it's easy for me. I don't have to travel. I've got Sean, who's going to be there with us, who works here with me in the office in New York. We've got some other people that are coming for video stuff to help us record. We're going to put it onto a video and so forth. So there's a lot of expense for trying to take this show on the road. I tried to book you guys and it was full. We're not. There's still room in there, Charles. We haven't closed it out. Okay. Too far to travel. I understand, Sarah. I get it. Only 1,800 miles from Denver. Boston ain't nothing. Yeah, it's just all the equipment and stuff and what we go through. It's something. If you've ever had to take your show on the road, guys, I used to do this every week, and my tech team would go crazy setting everything up. And on top of that, we've got video camera and things like that we set up along the way. So yeah, so Charles, if you're going to be renting a car while you're there, if not, you could Uber. There's plenty of hotels in the area that you can get to, right? Plenty of hotels. You can come right by my office in Rockville Center. There's a Best Western. I just booked a hotel room there for somebody for a different event for $150 a night, right? And decent hotel, if you want a Hampton, it's $250 a night. I know because we just quoted it. And there are others around. There's others along the way. But let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can do anything with rooms at Charles. I'll find out at the hotel. Can't wait. I'm excited to see everything. Yeah, me as well, Daniel. Booked and ready to roll. Please bring your hammer to the class. Great point, Sean. Don't forget that. We bring that hammer with us, right? Charles said, thank you for the info. I'll be there. I know. I'm excited for you guys and gals. Oh, in Brazil now. Wow. I'm not coming to Brazil. We're not doing that right now. Sorry. We got to find another way to get you here. All right. Excellent. So, folks, I'm going to leave the room open for a little bit. Amy, I think you dropped it in, the link. I'm not seeing it because there might be questions. But can you drop that link? There we go. She just dropped it now. Folks, we'll leave the room open a couple of minutes. Go grab the link. Have a great rest of your day. And here, think of this. Make it a profitable day. Stay focused, hyper-focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a great class today. I had a good time. I will see all of you at our next update, and certainly looking forward to meeting many of you for the first time at our live event in New York. Take care now, and I'll see you then. Bye.